The Hebrew Israelites under the leadership of Ben-Ami ben Israel, Ben-Ami Carter, the Israelite Hebrews under the guidance of Yahweh ben Yahweh, the Israeli church who is being led by Moshe who have broken up into splinter groups, and the many other names that they may call themselves, all worship a being that the Old Testament refers to as Yahweh. All of these groups claim this God called Yahweh the great and dreadful being. However, all you have to do is go back and reread the stories that are written in the Torah of the Jews and you will see that the God you are worshipping is a jealous God as found in Exodus 34:12 and a man of war, which is what Moses and the children of Israel says he refers to himself as in Exodus 15:3. Now I would like to stop right here and point out something that is very important. First, let's read in Exodus 15:3 from the Hebrew and English. Exodus 15:3, Yahuwah is a male living being of war, Yahuwah is his name. The word for Lord in this quote is Yahweh. According to the Hebrew/Greek Key Study Bible, the word Yahweh means the existing one, the one true God. Now, this same Lord is supposed to be the highest God of the Israelites, yet he is referred to as a man. And the Hebrew word used for man is ish, which means male living being, human being, person, in contrast to a woman. This simply means that your God is a man because this same word ish was used in Genesis 2:23 where it is talking about Eve being taken out of Adam, whom of course as you know was a physical man. Genesis 2:23 states, and I quote in part, "She shall be called woman because she was taken out of man." This also means that God can have a female counterpart because in this very quote, the Hebrew word for woman that is used is ish-shah, which means female living being, woman, opposite of man, feminine of man. If Adam or man can have a feminine counterpart, which means that he is one of two parts, then this also means that God has a counterpart which would be a goddess as the Muslims have Allah and Allat, Quran 53:19. This would also mean that there is another being that exists that has the same amount of strength and power as your Yahweh. There are several different words used in the Old Testament for man: Adam, man, mankind, human being, Genesis 1:26, ish, male living being, human being, person, in contrast to a woman, Genesis 2:23, Zakar, male, rememberer, Genesis 17:10, Baal, owner, husband, Lord, Exodus 24:14, Geber, warrior, Numbers 24:3, Ben, son, grandson, child member of a group, 1 Samuel 14:52, Enosh, man, mortal man, person, mankind, Job 4:17, Bo, to go in, enter, come, go, come in, Isaiah 24:10, and Enosh, man, human being, mankind, Daniel 2:10. So as you can see, there are many words found in the Old Testament that are used for a mortal man. Another quote concerning God being a mortal man is in Numbers 23:19, which also serves as a confirmation as well as a contradiction in Exodus 15:3. Numbers 23:19 says, and I quote, "God is not a man that he should not lie." The same exact Hebrew word ish is being used for man in reference to their God. It also states that he is neither the son of man. Numbers 23:19, El is not a ish male living being, that he should Kazab, lie, neither the Bane son of an Adamite, that he should Nakam, repent, have he said, and will he not do it? Or have he spoken, and will he not make it cum, rise? The second man that is used in Hebrew is Adam, not ish. So plainly there have been a change of words. Adam is used in Genesis 2:19 in reference to Adam, who is supposedly the first physical man to walk the planet Earth. However, the fact remains that in one quote, Exodus 15:3 it clearly says that he is a physical man, and in Numbers 23:19 it says that he isn't. Which one is it? The God of the Old Testament could have used any other word that could not have been used for any other man. However, it wasn't. Thus, the question remains, according to the scriptures, is God a physical man or not? One says no, John 4:23, and one says yes, Numbers 23:19. That's not hard to figure out. Yes, he or they were physical men. These are simple facts. However, due to what I call tunnel vision, not being able to see facts due to religious blindness, you are not able to see past all of these destructive acts. And if you do see past them, you consider all of these destructive acts as lessons and punishments, forgetting that if their God would not have ever allowed these conditions to exist, then there wouldn't be any need for all of the bloodshed and chaos. This is the same chaos that is going on right now. The world is in an uproar and people are sitting around waiting for some type of mystical, spook God to come out of the clouds and save them, or in the case of the Hebrews they are waiting for the Mashiach, Messiah, to come out of Jerusalem on top of the dome of the rock and reconcile them with God. Sounds like a bunch of religious jargon, the same nonsense that every sect preaches, and still nothing has changed for the better, and none of you have any proof that someone is coming to save you. So when you look around and ask where is the help, you better realize that it is at the end of your arm. You are still suffering. Tell me this, if the Jews that are over in Israel right now the real Israelites, then why did they have to create an army and bombs and other explosives to defend themselves? Why are they in the middle of a half-a-century-old battle with Palestine and other rival Muslim groups? Take a look and tell me, where is your God? The lower self breeds hatred, slander, lewdness, murder, theft and everything that harms. Remember, malevolent disagreeable beings can walk in the forms of men and women, possessing a complete personality. Certain people seem to be more open to the disagreeable beings than others. In the presence of newborn babies and children, one should never invite the presence of disagreeable or malevolent being. Disagreeable beings readily attack newborn babies, newly circumcised male babies, and women who have just given birth to a child. Infants should not be left alone or unattended in total darkness. Remember that in the ancient times during the shadow hours when it became dark it was pitch black, there were no street lights or lamps. So wicked people would do their wickedness in the dark, that's how darkness became synonymous with evil or the devil. So you should not call yourself a black man, a Negro, Afro-American, or colored. You were originally olive-toned skinned. Children must be protected from the disagreeable beings because of their innocence to disagreeable suggestions. Women are more susceptible to the suggestions of the disagreeable beings rather than the male. This is because women menstruate, something they did not do when they were the deities, and the disagreeable beings feed off of blood. Male babies who have been circumcised should also be protected against the disagreeable beings because of the blood on and around the penis. Some species of malevolent beings are John, Vice Master of the Jinn, or malevolent cherubim. They are beings from Aldebaran, located in the Taurus constellation. They incite you with music and pleasure-seeking. Jinniya, female malevolent beings, cherubims, jinns, seductresses, whores, witches, and the like. These beings are also from the Aldebaran constellation. Shaitan, this is the physical race of malevolent beings, jinns, whether they be of the black, white or yellow race. These beings are from Pleiades, the 7th star constellation, and Arcturus, the 3rd star constellation. Marid, this is the most powerful race of the malevolent beings. These beings are called Greys. Ifrit, a class of malevolent beings, jinns, that are giants and very powerful. They are also called reptilians. The motion picture Rosemary's Baby represents the time of the birth of the reptilian, Luciferian, the evil one. Were you aware that this picture was very real and that the mother of the child, or the spirit in the child, conceived with the jackal? Then there is Damien from the motion picture The Omen, which is also reality and depicted the essence of the jackal transformed into the form of a human child form. Throughout this movie, one constantly sees a black dog moving in and around the presence of the reptilians, Luciferian's child. In Omen 2, the black dog again was present. It was still guarding this seemingly little boy who was really a jinn, also called Lucifer, Satan, Devil, Dragon, and the Beast. And in Nubians they're called the lower self, or disagreeable Elohim. The media is one of the strongest tools that is being used and has developed to lead you, the Nuwapians, astray. Through television and movies, commercial advertisements, and cartoons, he has gained complete control of your mind and he must keep you from seeking your true heritage and your only true way of life, Nuwapu. Subliminal seduction is the leading astray or seduction of the subconscious mind. The reptilians, Luciferians, are actually brainwashing you while you sit a victim in front of your television or at the movies. He is leading you astray and paving your way to destruction because his time is running out. Is Holy Quran 39:27, Original Order, O children of Zakar, also called Adam. Don't let Satan, the reptilian, trick you all, as when he caused your parents to be put out of the Jannat, enclosed garden of delight, and he also caused them, Adam and Eve, to remove their clothing from themselves, in order to show both of them, their private parts, what should have been covered. Surely, he the evil one, sees you all, he and his tribe of Enocytes, from where, a place that you all don't see. You all don't see them, they are disguised. Surely, we the Elohim, Anunnaki, have made Al-Shay'ashan, Satan's, the reptilians, to become the closest of friends, for all those, Zakar's seed, who don't have faith. El's Holy Quran 109:14, Original Order, in part, O you, those who are faithful. Be aiders of the source. In the movie The Island of Dr. Moreau, an H.G. Wells classic novel, is a bizarre horror tale of chromosome experiments that went wrong. It's a Yakub story or Yucatan Hopi Indian story all about grafting humans and animals. On an isolated island, Dr. Moreau creates an entirely new breed of living creatures, strange half-animal, half-humans. This movie depicts to you the Euro-Americans' history while he dwelt in the Caucasus Mountains. The tribes Canaan, Sidonites, Hittites, Jebusites, Amorites, Girgasites, Sinites, Arvadites, Zemarites, Hamathites, etc., are the companions of the cave spoken about in the Bible and the Quran. Labana was born an albino. He was cast out from amongst his family and fled to the Caucasus Mountains because his body was sensitive to the daylight. He sought the darkness of the caves as protection against his condition. While in the mountains, the sons of Canaan regressed to a state of savagery that was unimaginable. He, Canaan, mixed with human beast, Herite, Anakite, and Halaa beings. They ate raw and rotten flesh and they had sex with animals. This is the nature of these people. As a result of bestiality, many animalistic characteristics have been embedded into the Euro-Americans' genes. The so-called abominable snowman is nothing more than the Euro-Americans' missing link. They even make movies like Star Wars and show you Chewbacca and Harry and the Hendersons. The reptilians, Luciferians, is experimenting with genes and chromosomes and have even come so far as to produce a test tube baby. He has no fear of the Most High. He has advertised the fact that he has produced a dat. An animal born from the crossbreeding of a cat and a dog. Imagine all of the freaks and abnormal creatures he has produced while playing around in his laboratories with these experiments. He has stepped out of bounds and out of the realms of the laws of the Most High in the name of science. This movie is just a reflection of the past and the present, and if the reptilians, Luciferians can get you, they will. He has convinced people to volunteering for these sick experiments such as test tube babies, sperm banks, gene splicing, etc. This Disney cartoon is about a lion ruling the jungle. The king who bears a son who will inherit the kingdom, and an evil uncle who wants to be king. He devises a plan with the treacherous hyenas, the low life of the jungle. All throughout the movie the hyenas are complaining about not having enough food. Hyenas are scavengers and will eat every and anything if you let them. The evil, jealous brother of the king takes over the kingdom with the help of the hyenas, which are a part of the dog family, and outcast the son. The animals of the kingdom bow to this evil ruler only because the son is thought to be dead. The kingdom goes to ruins under the rule of this evil brother. This movie depicts the hyenas in their true nature, as evil, conniving, greedy, stupid, and deceitful. All these are also characteristics of the Amorite. Remember, the dog through the jackal is a part of the Canaanites' ancestry, and humans do inherit their parents' ways. Skullduggery is another movie that deals with the Euro-Americans' missing link. An anthropologist searching for ancient artifacts in a dense uninhabited jungle. When he finds his missing link, an aboriginal tribe of half-man, half-ape-like creatures. They have never been seen by modern man. The anthropologist wins these creatures' trust and becomes involved with them. His companions see them as objects to be exploited and abused in the name of science, but he feels sorry for them and tries to protect them. The Euro-American portrays these creatures as helpless, passive, and abused by man's advanced technology. This is all done to make you feel sorry for these creatures and miss the whole point in the movie. The anthropologist falls in love with one of these creatures and takes it for a mate. This is a reflection of his desire to mate with animals, bestiality. He is showing you this right up under your nose and you still don't see it. By the end of the movie you see the anthropologist and his wife and child as innocent victims and you are on their side. The Watchers is a movie about a 3-part scientific experiment gone haywire. It results in a hideous beast-like mutation that stalks a dog, who is also a part of the experiment, and terrorizes the town, leaving a trail of bizarre deaths. The dog finds his way to a little boy and his mother. The family is amazed at the intelligence of the dog and takes him into their home. The highlight of the movie is when 2 government scientists go in pursuit of the family and the dog in an effort to complete the experiment. The Euro-American scientist viciously kills his partner and reveals his true nature, as that of the reptilians, Luciferians, who also turns out to be the 3rd part of the experiment. In Omega Man, as a result of an atomic holocaust, most of the people on the earth were destroyed. Those who remained were dying of a contagious disease, leprosy, that prevented them from coming into the sunlight. One man who was left had the serum which would cure them of their disease, but they sought to destroy him. The Omega Man represents a savior. The word Omega means literally the end, the last of any series. Revelation 1:10-11, I, the news bearer John, became a spiritual being in the only day, the last days before the end, which will occur in 3 parts, Yom al-Qiyamah, Yom al-Dayan, and Yom al-Akhiri, and I heard a supreme voice behind me like a trumpet, saying, that which you, the news bearer John see, write it in a scroll, the 22 books of Revelation, and send it to the 7 congregations which are in Asia. It's for Ephesus and Smyrna and Pergamos and Thyatira and Sardis and Philadelphia and Laodicea. Another thing to note in this movie is that the Omega Man was in love with a Nubian woman. This is relevant to the fact that the sons of Canaan came out of the Caucasus Mountains seeking the Nubian woman to cleanse his seed of leprosy. His body lacked the salt that is needed to procreate and keep his seed alive, and he had a lack of melanin recessive, which would have absorbed the harmful rays of the sun. Ultraviolet rays. Pornography plays a very important part in the Euro-Americans' propagation of white supremacy. These movies do nothing but portray man and women as sexually superior objects to be worshipped and desired. Very rarely do you find Nubians in these movies with leading roles. Do not misunderstand, I am not advocating the use of Nubians in these movies, nor do we condemn pornography. We are just trying to make you understand the reptilians, Luciferians' way of seducing you. If you are constantly exposed to these movies, you are being subliminally seduced into desiring the Euro-American. This, of course, is a sin and fornication in the eyes of the Most High. But do keep in mind, no one wins the race in racism. Leviticus 18:22-23, You will not lie with mankind, as with womankind, it is abomination. And you will not lie with any beast to defile yourself with it, neither will any woman stand before a beast, to lie down with it, it is confusion. Beautiful daughter of a wealthy merchant. Beauty is loyal, persevering, and, unlike her proud sisters, willing to sacrifice herself for her father after he loses his money. When the father stumbles into a beast's lair, the beast demands beauty in exchange for not killing him and then falls in love with beauty. When she finally consents to marrying him, he is revealed to be a prince. These movies purposely propagate perversion and bestiality, sexual intercourse with animals. Halal has duped you into being part of his sexual revolution. The moral structure of this society has dissolved into anything goes, and do your own thing, and he has you involved in group marriages, orgies, etc. All of this is to lead you away from the middle path of the righteous. The opening of the seventh seal was in the year of 1970 AD. The year 1970 AD was the year for all truth to be exposed. No one will be able to say they had no knowledge of the truth. The year 2000 AD marks the end of the reptilians, Luciferians' reign, and on to the hereafter period, 2000 AD to 2030 AD, if we are successful in raising the 144,000 spoken of in Revelation 8:1, and I quote, Revelation 8:1, And when Tammuz the Lamb opened the seventh stamp, there was silence in the Orion skies for a half an hour. As of the year 2000 AD, the reptilians, Luciferians will be given 30 more years to destroy himself. Notice the number 30, according to the measurement of time 30 represents a half an hour. This is the same half an hour mentioned in the previous quote, Revelation 8:1. The reptilian, Luciferian is given the same amount of time to be destroyed as we are given to raise. We wouldn't make it if time were any longer. Stop trying to buy time. The hour is almost near. Revelation 14:1, And I, John son of Zebedee, looked and beheld a lamb standing on the mountain Sion, a new city of peace, and with him were 144,000, having his father's name written upon their foreheads. I told you a long time ago, I came giving you what you wanted so you would learn to want what I have to give. Now is the time, I give you this. Take my warning, take my wisdom, and most of all take my strength as it flows from me as I speak these facts. Hear my words. Wake up.